Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
All right, it's Monday! Yay! Motivational Monday, that is. And we have got quite the goings on for you today. I sure hope you're going to show up, pop up, say hello. And by the way, are you sharing these broadcasts? Did you know that sharing is caring? That's how I look at it anyway. And I love when you share. So thank you for that. And thank you, Catherine, for showing up. You know, we have the best time here and we have the best community. It's always a delight, by the way, to see you when you pop in. So I am grateful for that. There's my girl Vanessa. So good to see you. And there's Yvonne popping on in. Hello. Hello. Do you miss me on Sundays? I miss you guys on Sundays. I always look at the clock and I say, I would be on usually right now. There's Lizzie and Helen. Hello. And there is my friend Dean. Hi, Dean. Mary Ann is in the house, and so's Mary Frances. We got our Marys in the house. This is so good. This is so good. Listen, tomorrow is our gala. Did you know that? It is our gala. Hi, Jane. Good to see you. Cindy's here. Yes, and so is Sandy from Katy, Texas. How's the weather in Texas? I hope you guys have electricity now. Trisha's in the house as well. Hello. Hello, Lucy. Good to see you. We have so many things. So I just want to tell you a little bit about what's going on. Hi, Julie. This is the part you're going to want to take note of. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. and Wednesday at 1 p.m., we're going to be having a gala. We're also going to be doing it at 7 o'clock on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. So it's 1 and 7, you know, and you're going to want to be there for all of them. Listen, not only are we going to have screaming deals, because we always have screaming deals, but we have prizes that we're giving away. We also have a grand prize that we're going to give away every hour. So the 1 o'clock show is going to be an hour. The 7 o'clock show is going to be an hour. Wear your best gown, right? Black tie. Just kidding. You know what that means, right? It's sweatpants on the bottom, you know. Business on the top and party on the bottom. Whatever. You warned your husband, Lizzie. You are a smart woman. Hey, there's Juanita. She's in the house as well. Where is everyone? We have not a lot of people this morning. Everybody's still sleeping? Listen, I was up at 5:30 this morning. Got a new thing going. I can't wait to share all of this with you because listen, the stuff that I am in the weeds with is stuff that's just absolutely changing up my game. It makes such a difference. Hi, Rosemary. I have not seen you in a long time. And there's my girl, Sarah, saying it's a magical Monday. Corky, Yolanda, good to see you. So great to see you all here. And listen, I know Facebook is not really great about sending out announcements, are they? They're like, hey, they'll tell you that I'm live like 15 minutes later. So just look here on our Facebook page. There is a sign up for the galas. Now, obviously, you don't have to, but if you want the reminder, then you can sign up for that. You'll see that right there on our Facebook page. So check that out. Also, we are going to be sending out an email, if it hasn't already gone out, with giving you kind of a little bit more details. But listen, a lot of planning has gone into this. The prizes are off the hook. If you miss this, you're going to be going, oh, I missed it, darn it. That's how good the prizes are. So I do not want you to miss it. I don't want you to miss it. Secondarily, let's just take a look here. What is our quote of the week? It's a big one. And it's from our friend Dan Kennedy. He said, if you occasionally accept occasional unacceptable behavior, it's only a matter of time before you accept routine unacceptable behavior. That just makes you drop your teeth, right? I mean, come the heck on. That's something. That makes you take notice, doesn't it? And that's one thing that I want to say to all of our lovelies. I do not want to see you ever, A, lose your voice and have a vote in your life about what's going on. And two, I don't ever want to see you accept unacceptable behavior. You are worth so much more than that. Noreen said that quote is so true. It is still. Lucy got a big yikes. It is worthy of a yikes. That's why it's here. We have a little place. We use Slack, and we have a little place for quotes. I see quotes. I dump them in. I dump them in. And I'm going to tell you, on my Peloton, you know that I have that silly bike. On my Peloton, these instructors are throwing down the quotes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to write that out. I mean, come on. The other thing that I want you to be aware of as you are ordering from us, and thank you, by the way, for that. I know you have options, but you choose to order from us. And it doesn't go unnoticed. You know that. I send you thank you notes. I send you little notes on every single packing slip because you are important to my community, and there's Susie. And I want you to know that every single person means something to me, every single one of you. So we have a new program that's coming. Hi, Jocelyn. These little thank you cards. They have a rhyme, they have a reason. I'm going to be telling you about them. So watch your packages for these new little fun things. You're just going to love it. Hi, Amy. Good to see you. Anyway, the things I'm like, what we're going to be talking about today, excuse me. Here's my hot melt mix. Do you guys have yours? Noreen said she loves her notes and looks forward to them. Yay. I think it's so sweet. Goodness gracious. Okay, I see lots of comments that I really want to read. There's a difference between being compassionate. Oh yeah, there's amen to that. I can't read it all, but I'll come back. The thing that I'm going to be talking about today too is escape velocity. You know, I'm learning a little bit about rocket ships lately. It is so fascinating. And you know, it is such a direct parallel with us as human beings and just how stuck we get, you know, we get stuck. And I'll tell you, you know, do you know our cell phones have more power in them than they had for the original Apollo launch when they landed on the moon? Can you imagine? We could launch rocket ships from our phones now, pretty much. Anyway, we're going to be talking about escape velocity. And one of the things that we're talking about is decision fatigue and all of that and how it all plays in. Because when we have too much wiggle room, we wiggle all over the place, don't we? And the problem is all that wiggling, we don't get anything done. You know, I'm sorry, but I don't need any more wiggle room. I just need to keep going and going and going. I'm going to share some of the things that I have been implementing lately and some of the things that I'm going to be going boom, boom, boom on. Because here's the deal. When we can actually accomplish the things that we want to accomplish for our days, boy, do we feel good about ourselves. And when we don't, and when we're wiggling all over the place, we feel like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. But yes, absolutely, Sarah says, my rituals help so much with decision fatigue. It is absolutely critical. And for those of us who are addicted to food and have various and sundry food addictions, first of all, one, you can watch my webinar on food addiction, ditching food addiction once and for all. Go to savingdinner.com/freedom because that's what it's about. And I'll go through and show you some different things that you can do psychologically, physiologically, and how to get a hold on this once and for all because it is a thing. But secondarily, setting up your environment for success, can I tell you how game-changing that is? This weekend in my office, I finally hung up all my pictures. And Lucy, you'll be proud to see, over here by my window, I have my pretty little, what is it called? Stained glass that you made me, that I just absolutely adore. I finally had a chance to put it up, and it's just framed and lovely, and the light's coming through. It makes me really happy. Let me see if you can see that. See it right there? There it is. Well, it's hard to see behind. Anyway, I'm trying to show you. But I put up all of my pictures in my office. I did some cleaning and some things, and you know, of course, you understand and know what we're doing around here. And I will tell you how much better it made me feel. You know, the other thing that I had been putting off and not doing, and I said I'm doing that this weekend, is my vision board. Well, I found out I have too many things for my vision board, or too much vision board and not enough things. So guess what? I'm going to cut out more things and make it bigger. Because I have a big vision for my life. Do you have a big vision for your life? And you know what's helping me to get into that place of creating that big vision is exactly what we're talking about, is the escape velocity principle. We're going to talk about it. One of the things that I do is create an environment that supports me. I need this every single day. We get lost in the weeds in our own heads, don't we? You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. We get stuck in our horrible thought patterns. We got to address them. But you know what helps with that is to have something in front of you that reminds you of your worthiness, that reminds you that you're better than you think you are and that you've got more than you do. Okay, look, here's mine. Part of courage is simple consistency from Peggy Noonan. I need this in front of me because consistency is my word of the year. You guys know that. And so many things are going to help us to become the women we want to. Here's a quote that I think you like. Let me see what we've got in here. Here's one. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Is that not the truth? Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. It costs nothing to dream, but everything if you don't, from Rita Davenport. These kind of things we can put everywhere throughout our house and start to retrain our brain. And that is how it happens. It doesn't happen from willpower. It doesn't happen from grinding it out and doing it. It happens from having a supportive environment for the things that you hold dear are out right there in front of you all the time. It's so beautiful. Susan said that's the one she has on her nightstand right now. What a great idea, Susan. Have that right before you go to sleep. Take a look at that and have that be the seed that's planted. That's beautiful. I love that idea. Anyway, so did I forget everything else? You have been to savingdinner.com, haven't you? And seen the new website. Isn't it beautiful and shiny? I know you have. It's incredible, and we're so very proud of it. On the website, you're also going to see, what do you see? All the blog posts, everything on there. So easy to navigate, so easy to order, so easy to find exactly what it is that you want to find. Everything has been upgraded, absolutely every solitary thing, and that's what we're thrilled about. We also have our mindful mugs. Look at this. Don't get mad about the results you didn't earn from the work you didn't do. Bam, drop that mic. Isn't it incredible? And it's shiny and yellow and so sweet. It says mindful mug and Pinky's Up cup on the back because, you know, we like to pinky up around here. You got to check it out. There is a reason for using a mindful mug. Go to savingdinner.com/mug. Read the post. There's a whole psychological thing. Every time you take this mug into your hand, it's going to remind you of who you are and what you're trying to accomplish. You know? It really does have that kind of an impact. And you can get it for free or you can buy it. It just depends on how you roll. You'll see. It's right there in the post. Let's get ready. Let's talk about all the things that we need to talk about. Oh, the Saving Dinner. You want to know about the quote deck? You can find it at savingdinner.com/quote. I didn't say that, did I? So, you know, what we're looking at is really removing the friction. Because when we, and like the wiggle room idea is a really good one if you think about it. If you put on a pair of shoes and your foot's wiggling all over the place, and you're just hell-bent on getting those shoes. Have you ever been in that place, especially when you were a kid? But I want the shoes. And you get the shoes, and they're wiggling all over the place. And what happens? You end up getting a blister. It hurts. It's terrible. That's what happens to us when we have too much wiggle room in our world. We end up getting hurt. We end up getting hurt and frustrated and just, gosh darn it, why can't I make these changes in my life? You ever said that to yourself? I certainly have. I think we all have. This is where we're going to really talk about rocket ships. Not shoes, but rocket ships. Because rocket ships have this thing called escape velocity, where it needs to escape the gravitational pull of the Earth. And it's about 60 seconds, and it's just ripping through. And this is where like 90% of all the energy needs to go, is to getting away from the Earth's gravitational pull, to get out into outer space. And for us, that gravitational pull is the couch. Am I right? Like Netflix and phones and all kinds of things. And just, I just need to chill. How many times have you said, I just need to chill? I mean, I've said that a bazillion times. I just need to chill. Do you really? Maybe you need to get up and do a 4-minute workout. Maybe you need to get up and do something. Instead of letting your vision board stuff just sit there and gather dust, do your vision board. Instead of having all of your pictures on the floor, go and hammer up some nails and get them on the walls. These are the things that help us to feel victorious and get things done. So escape velocity then means that we are beyond the pull and into flying, actually flying. And you know what Marla calls that, right? If you're a Fly Lady fan, finally loving yourself. It is. It releases us from all of that stuff, and it's really a changeover from here are my bad habits to here are the good habits that I want in my life. We get to do that. We get to break that in half. So there's 3 things and 3 phases really of installing new habits. And the first one is, well, first of all, we have to overcome our bad habits, and we do that simply by making the wiggle room a little less. We do that. We make it very simple. And if you like my food addiction webinar, we have always and never rules for food. And the reason that we do that is because otherwise, with facing this huge buffet of food, we're more apt to make a bad mistake. Well, it's just this once, and we rationalize the heck out of it. We do that with all of our habits though. And we can change all of that and overcome these old habits that we don't want, like staying up late and eating the wrong stuff and doing all the things that just keep us behind, so that we're not getting ahead to doing the things that we want. They hold us back. All of this stuff does. But if you plan a little bit differently, you can install brand new habits. You can escape the gravitational pull of the couch. You can get to escape velocity and really soar. And it's unbelievable how this stuff works. So here's how it works. Number 1 is you got to destroy it. Whatever the old habit is, it needs to be destroyed. And I'm not talking about, like cigarettes. I'm not talking about cutting back. I'm talking about getting rid of the cigarettes, for heaven's sakes. I don't have to explain how bad they are. You want to get that out. So how do you get out of it? You start, first of all, you make a decision. I am going to destroy this habit. And number 2, what are you going to do instead? That's when you deploy it. So have you ever noticed that sometimes it feels like you're falling apart before you can put everything together again? I've got that going on right now in my master bathroom. Mark has completely pulled it apart, and it's a mess. But you've got to pull it apart before you can put it back together again better. Am I right? Anybody here ever done a remodeling project and seen that? You start with taking everything out, and there is a big trashy mess. You start with all of that, you take it all out, and then guess what? Then you got to rebuild. You got to put things in. So it feels like you're falling apart, but really what you're just doing is you're remodeling, right? So when you feel like this and you start to think like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do instead? You just think, hey, I'm remodeling. I can do this. You're building a new path. And the more time you spend on that path, the more trodden it becomes. Because remember, we have Oregon trails in our brains. Tons of Oregon trails in our brains. We've gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on that. How many times? So to create this new one, think about it this way. You got to go through. This is what I heard from my friend Robin Sharma. It's like there's a big meadow in front of you. And you got to walk through that meadow of grass to get to the foot of the mountain. And then you got to go up the mountain. But you know what? The more you do it, the easier it gets. The more you do it, the more you encode this new information in your head. And guess what else? It becomes less difficult. And number 3, you gotta enjoy it. Enjoy that feeling of what it feels like to do this instead. Because here's the thing that I found, and I'm guilty of this myself. This is why I'm always saying use a journal. I have found that if I just say, yeah, that felt really good, and then just ignore it, and I don't write it, I don't document it, I'm not accountable about it, then it just goes by the wayside. But if I make a big deal of doing the right thing, presto. Who here has ever potty trained a kid? Right? Have you ever potty trained a child? Teaching a child to use the bathroom can be difficult. And what happens? What do you do when that child finally uses the potty? It is a big deal. You celebrate. You give them an ice cream cone. You do whatever it is that you need to do in order to reinforce that behavior. Well, I'm going to tell you, we used to throw Cheerios into the toilet for my son for target practice. But you know what? I'm not throwing Cheerios in the toilet for you here. You know what I'm suggesting instead? I am suggesting instead that you make a big deal out of it every time you do the right thing. You write it in your journal. You put a star on your calendar. You tell your body clutter buddy. But you announce to the heavens on earth and above that yes, you have done this thing. That yes, you are creating this new path. And yes, you are blazing a trail. Because as you do, you are reinforcing all the good stuff inside, and you are letting your brain know, I'm on fire. Here's something else that happens. That when you do this, you also trigger dopamine. You also trigger serotonin. And you start to have these feel-good chemicals in your body, which again helps to reinforce and help to pave that new, pave that new pathway for you. Isn't that exciting? This is why I'm always harping on you to use your journal. Your journal is a document, and it's documenting your life. It's documenting the stuff that's hard that you want to flip, and it's documenting all those wins that you have in your life. You have wins every single day. But if you're not documenting it, they're just flying by, and you're forgetting about how fabulous you are. You pinkies up for fabulous women. You are that gal. You are. So this is a part of a strategy so that we can become the women that we want. It's making those shifts. We know what the good habits are that we want. We want the hydration stuff. We want the sleep. We want all of it. But we've got to set it up. So I'll tell you what I did. I was getting to the place of my morning ritual has always been like this. Same to you, all of you lovelies. I love you guys. But my morning ritual has always been the same. I get up, I meditate, I have my coffee, I write my journal, I read my book, I look at my day, I get ready to go, right? And then I'm like, oh, but I got to work out, I got to do this, and I got to do that. But you know what kept getting left behind? The working out stuff. I'd say, oh, you know what? I look at my calendar. I got to go do this, and I've got all these things, and I have to do that. And so then I'd say, I'll just do it after my show, or I'll just do it after lunch, or I'll just do it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It wasn't happening. I got my little readout of where I was on the app. It shows you how many times you work out for, that month or what. And I thought, that I'm missing way more than I thought. You know why? Because it wasn't written down in my own journal. So guess what? This is what I decided, and I did a course from Robin Sharma. I'll tell you about it as soon as I can remember the name of it. But he made a very good point, and he said, you work out first thing in the morning. That's what you do. He said, if you want to have your coffee, go ahead and have your coffee. But then you work out, and then you reflect and do your meditation and all of that. And then you move and you do the studying for your growth and what have you. So I did that, and I've been doing that, and it's been working. You eat the frog first. That's one of the things that they always say in business, right? Eat the frog first. Meaning, you take the thing that's the hardest to get done and you do that one first. Pinkies up. That's a setup for your environment. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Because when you make a decision, and by the way, the first 20 seconds of any decision is the hardest part. The least amount of decisions that you can make in a day, the better. Save it for the good stuff. Automatic pilot all the stuff that you need to do. First I get up, so what I did too, the other thing that I did, usually I grind my coffee, I fill up my water bottles, I empty the dishwasher, I do all of that stuff. But you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. I set up my water bottles the night before. I set the coffee up the night before. Everything is ready to go. And my clothes that are sitting out there, guess what? They're my workout stuff. Everything, I mean, it is just seamless. So I don't have an excuse. And as soon as I click in, I remember I've got my click in contract with you, and that's being accountable on how I can get this done. Eat the frog first. That's the big thing. One of the things that I love is and I'm going to say this to you, this is one of the things that was shouted out over one of my workouts was, I make suggestions, you make decisions. And that's exactly it. Every time I have these shows and I say something, they're only suggestions. If you make a decision that this is something that you want to have be actionable in your life, then I applaud you. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But here's the thing. If you're not happy with the way things are and you want to move the needle, it's time to take a look at what our decision making is all about. It makes a grand difference by getting set up in the morning or set up in the evening for your morning success, and then do it again at night. I do this every single day, and it has made such a difference, especially getting the workout done first. So remember this, that design, BJ Fogg said this, design always trumps willpower at any time. At any time. This is why we set our houses, our rooms up, our offices, our everything up for success, and we set ourselves up for success for the next day, the evening before. If you haven't read Marla's book, why am I not thinking of the name of it? Oh boy. Well, that is just absolutely nuts. I'm looking at it, it's hot pink. You know what I'm talking about. But you need to read Marla's book. If you haven't joined FlyLady, join FlyLady. Go to flylady.net. In there, she talks about the importance of the morning routine and the evening routine. The only thing that I have done is elevated it up to the place of calling it a ritual, because it is that important. It will change your life that much. It's just that simple. All right, that's all I've got. Yeah, The Chaos Cure is good, but her first book, I can't remember. If she were watching right now, she would just pop me over the head with, I don't know, a suitcase or something. Anyway, I appreciate you all. And tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, we start our gala. It's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, both at 1 and at 7 p.m. Right here, you can find out. Sync Reflections. Thank you. Why was I was thinking how to shine your sync. No, it's Sync Reflections. Yeah. Take a look at that book. If you haven't read it yet, you need to read that. Because if you have a problem with clutter in your head or clutter on your butt or clutter in your house, this is the book for you. It really will change everything. The other thing that I want you to do is right here on this Saving Dinner page, you will see, right here on this Facebook page, you will see a link on how to sign up for the reminder for tomorrow, okay? We're doing, it's going to be right here. You're not going to go anywhere, but you get an exact reminder so that you can click on that link and get right to the gala without having to wade through Facebook notifications. How's that sound? Anyway, check it out. Thank you again for joining me today, and don't forget about the gala tomorrow. I can't wait. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.